Hello, Michael Swain here after Kansas football's 38-27 loss to TCU here at Arrowhead Stadium. Woof. I think that's what I got for you. Woof. Another bad loss for Kansas, and I think at some point your record is who you are. And I think what we saw today was a team that played really bad football. And Kansas right now is playing like a bad football team, top to bottom. You know that. I see it. And we're here after another fourth quarter. It's hard to call it a collapse because KU, did trail, but just a lackluster finish. And that has been the theme of this season, lackluster finishes. You can go back to Illinois when we did the video leaving the stadium. You can go to UNLV, you go to West Virginia. And a lot of these games have very similar themes throughout them. Right? At times the defense looks good. Well, when the defense looks good, the offense doesn't look good. When the offense looks good, the defense doesn't look good. And today, all of a sudden, special teams pops up as a huge problem. And for me, that punt return, watching that get returned, felt like that's it. Because well-coached football teams do not let one maybe block in the back derail everything. And guys not take the right lanes, it looked like. Guys, it's just bad. And I think that is something now where in this game, KU is just poor in all three phases of the game. And I think that's the first time this season when that's been the case. I really don't think special teams have cost KU games this year. And I don't think it's been even one of the top three issues. And then today this pops up. And I think it just shows that this isn't the season for KU. Now, you can go to the start of the game, right? KU gets off on a decent foot. Get the fumble all right on the first defensive possession of the game. A theme for the game for KU was getting those takeaways. What wasn't a theme for the game outside kind of that first drive was KU taking advantage of those takeaways. And look, top to bottom, I think you could say that outside of those first two drives, and really the first drive coming out of halftime, the KU offense was not good. And that's something that I'm going to take a deeper look at here post-game and on Sunday is what the heck's going on outside of those situations when things are scripted. I asked Jeff Grimes about it this week because I was curious because it felt like early in the year, first 4 weeks, that KU was pretty good either first two drives of the game and then coming out of halftime. And then outside of that, there were some struggles. Well, Jeff Grimes reveals that KU kind of scripts the first two and a half drives. It's a set number of plays, but typically if you have good drives, that's what it looks like. And it makes sense, right? Because you look at it and KU starts this game, gets 2 touchdowns. And then coming out of halftime, they get a touchdown. Well, that's 21 of your points. So, it's just now it's just bigger issues, right? The offense just overall doesn't look the same. And even today, I can look at it. Hey, Daniel Highshaw, what a great game, right? It's good to see him back really fully healthy. Last year he was healthy, but this looks like the Daniel Highshaw we saw in 2022. 13 carries, 85 yards. Good job. Devin Neal, 14 carries, 70 yards. TCU's run defense is absolutely atrocious. And what I found really interesting about this game is the fact that in the first half, KU ran all over TCU. And then what did TCU do in the second half? They basically said, screw this, Jalen Daniels, you are going to beat us. KU averaged about 3.6 yards per carry in the second half. And that comes down to the biggest issue here. Kansas quarterback is not a guy that is a difference maker right now. It's a fact of the matter, right? He has struggled to make big plays. Outside of stuff that's kind of 10 yards and in, the accuracy just hasn't been there. And I'll look at the numbers and we'll supply those for VIPs on Sunday, but it's just not been there. And you saw that in this game, right? There's the throw to Quentin Skinner right back over here in the first half where it's short and Skinner was wide open. Chunk gain, like we've seen plenty of times for Kansas over the last 3 years. Short. They're just throws throughout the course of the game that make you feel like, man, like the old Jalen Daniels, the guy we saw in 2022, heck, even sometimes in 2023, right? That guy makes that throw. And he's just not right now. And it is a huge issue for KU because what you're going to see now, Illinois started showing it, UNLV showed it a little bit, and you saw it here again today. Teams are going to decide that you have great running backs, Kansas. That's so nice. Guess what? We're stacking the box. And your guys are not going to be able to do anything. And that quarterback is going to have to beat you. And right now, the quarterback can't. That's what it comes down to right now. And so that's a big issue KU's got to fix. Either it's got to come from, finding maybe different concepts. I don't know, guys. I'm not a football coach. I just yap about the sport. But something's got to change because this isn't working. Jalen Daniels completes 15 of 34 passes, the lowest completion percentage since he went 0 of 1 in 2021. I came into this game thinking, hey, Jalen showing progression week to week over the first 4 weeks of the season, again, or at least technically the first 3 FBS games. That was not the case today. It did not seem like there was progress made, and in the end, he throws the interception, whatever. You're trying to push the ball down the field, make a difference. That's fine, whatever. So that's the offense. Not great. You're not going to win a lot of football games in the Big 12. First of all, not scoring 30 points plus, especially if your defense is giving up 30 plus. That's how football works. But it's just a big issue. So on defense for KU, look, I think everyone that followed TCU and watched TCU and even just looked at the numbers, you could see TCU was going to pass it all over KU's defense today. You can just see it. That's how TCU is, Hoover ranks 7th nationally in time to throw. I mentioned that in the big preview I do pregame, right? 7th nationally, 2.25 seconds. Jalen is 70th nationally at about 4 seconds. They get the ball out quick, and they really took advantage of KU. They moved the ball so well, and you got to give credit to TCU because it's one thing to know you have this advantage, but it's another thing to go and take advantage of it, and that's exactly what they did. And I thought you saw some of those struggles, in the second half. I'm trying to find the total passing numbers here. Gosh, 356. It felt like more, but you look at this, and there's the missed tackle right behind me over here that leads to the 59-yard touchdown. That for me was when it felt like, all right, this is over. So for KU now, what does this mean? 1-4, going on the road to play Arizona State, who has a bye week this week. So they got to sit, feet up, watching this game. That's not going to be an easy game. Arizona State's pretty decent, and they've got a decent quarterback, a good running back. I need to look into what their defense is like, but this is a tough road ahead for Kansas now because it goes Arizona State, bye week, Houston, and then K-State. And then you play Iowa State, bye week, BYU. Yeah, that's right. So it's tough. It's tough sledding. This does not look like a team that's going to make a bowl game. It doesn't. There's a long way to go and a lot of improvement that's needed. Maybe a bye week will help, but these are some big picture issues that keep popping up, and the fact that we're talking about the same things we were talking about after that Illinois game, and after UNLV and so. That's my biggest concern, is the fact that these are the same issues every week. And within it is different things popping up. But broadly, it is KU's defense can't get a stop when it matters. KU's offense is not explosive. They need to execute really well, and they can't execute consistently right now. And then now today, special teams pops up. So it's just, not great. It's not great overall. So it's a tough road ahead for KU. If you want me to talk officials, I can. I really don't care. Did Kansas get jobbed twice? Yeah, probably. But you want to know what? Do your job outside of that, right? Lance Lopp will talk about postgame. Officiating's bad in this conference. Yeah, it is bad in this conference. It's bad in a lot of conferences. You want to go watch the ACC? They got atrocious refs there too. Teams still win ball games, right, and take advantage of their opportunities. And so for me, looking at this game, if you want to blame refs, I totally get where you're coming from. I don't think that's what caused KU to lose this game. Right, there are plenty of opportunities, plenty of plays to be made, that if you make those plays and the officials have the calls that they made, you can sit here and joke, haha, but that's not the case. So, all right, that's what I got. Pretty somber. Stadium's pretty cool, though. Be here for a couple more games this year. Crowd, good crowd. It's a 75,000 person stadium, and the announced attendance was in the mid-40s. I think the probable actual attendance was probably low 40s. So overall, it was cool. It was cool to get to see this place for a college football game, get to see Kansas fans come out in droves, obviously a lot of recruits here as well. So overall, I'm trying to end on a positive note here. Cool atmosphere. I'm nervous for Houston. We'll see what happens with that one. So that's what I got for you. That's enough of me yapping. Thanks as always for watching. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, click that little notification bell so you get alert whenever we post a video like this, or all the press conferences that are already up, or the podcast with Kevin on a Sunday morning. Plenty of content coming your way. Fog.net. Make sure you stay tuned. And thanks for watching. What a weird season. Not what I expected when we started the year, but it's college football for you. So we'll be here next week. I'll be headed to Arizona State. Going to cover that game from there, and thing rolls on, right? Another week, can't sulk. So thanks for watching.